After almost 6 years in this house right here in the middle of the suburbs, we are ready to move. And honestly, we have been ready to move for a while. We never even really got a chance to make this a home, which I'll talk about in this video. But we have been on the hunt for a new home for a long time. And so far, it hasn't gone very well. So when we decided to build this house in 2019, it was November or December. Obviously, life was very different at the end of 2019. But at that time, it was just the two of us. It was just my husband and me. We were going into the office every single day to work. We spent very little time at home. We didn't look at the school district. We didn't want any amenities. We didn't have time for things like gardening and stuff like that. So we were just living a really different lifestyle. Obviously, 2020 hit and life changed. My husband and I both started working from home. I continue to work from home, building my content full time. My husband works from home a few days a week, and we have a kid now. We didn't have a kid in the beginning. So this is kind of a fun story. The night before we did our final walkthrough for this house to see if there was anything they needed to fix, we're talking like weeks before the closing date, my husband and I went to go get a milkshake. And I didn't like my milkshake and I started to cry. And I was like, what is wrong with me? Why am I crying over this milkshake? So I took a pregnancy test and I was pregnant. So the night before the walkthrough, we learned that we are not in a good school district. We are not in the right neighborhood to have a family. We didn't plan anything around having a child. So really, before we even moved into this house, we were already feeling a little unsettled. And then you compound that with COVID and things just weren't right from the get-go. Our house right now is just a little bit under 2,100 square feet. So it's plenty of space for us. For the three of us, we don't really need more square footage than that. But the layout really doesn't work for our lives right now, especially because we are working from home a lot and we spend a lot of time at home. So one of the things that we're looking for is a layout that meets our needs more, where we have a little more living space, and in particular, living space near and around the kitchen. Because in our current home, most of our living space is upstairs and nobody ever wants to be upstairs. Everybody wants to be downstairs. Everybody wants to be next to the kitchen, but that's actually the smallest part of our house. So that means most of the time we are living in really an apartment sized space, and then we're sleeping upstairs and not using all of the square footage. We have a pretty decent sized kitchen right now, but of course, given the type of content that I make and how much I like to cook and bake, I always want a bigger kitchen. So that would be nice to have. We also want a bedroom and a bathroom downstairs, so that way we have some room for guests without them having to go up and down the stairs. And we'd also like some sort of flex room. Right now, our current floor plan is basically one open living space. And when we moved in here, I really wanted that open concept. But now that we're in an open concept and we have been here for a number of years, I want some sort of hybrid approach where I have a little bit of space where I can get out of the living room and kitchen, but then also have some space where the whole family can gather or guests in our family can congregate and be together. In our heart of hearts, we really want some land to be able to have some space and do whatever we want to do. But there are a couple realities that we have had to face with that. One, we live in southeastern North Carolina where the prices of everything have skyrocketed. Now that's true, I think, across the nation. Everything is more expensive than it's ever been before. But here in Wilmington, North Carolina, where we live, we are facing a unique situation where we are having an explosion of people moving here from much wealthier areas. So people from up north are selling their homes for the price of 2 or 3 homes here in North Carolina, and they're moving here and they're buying up the real estate, which is now priced out everyone who's been here for, say, like me, the last 20 years or so. The other thing that's happening here is all these big developers are swooping in with their bottomless pockets and buying up the land and building these huge neighborhoods. So even if we wanted to buy land, it's really hard to come by. And then if you get the land, you have to be able to afford to build a house. And that's just not in our budget right now. So for now, it looks like we are still going to be in the suburbs. But with that said, we have not had any luck buying a house. The pre-existing homes that we have looked at are just flat out too expensive for our budget and don't offer the things that we need unless we go way over budget, which we are not willing to do. So unfortunately, we feel like we have to, like many people, I think, across the country and in this area, feel like we have to do new construction because really it's the best bang for your buck in terms of being able to get a house and then not have to invest a ton of money into it to upgrade it or make it what you want it to be or what you need it to be for your lifestyle. I am no stranger to new construction. I have lived a number of houses that are new construction, and the one that we are living in right now is a new build, or was 6 years ago. So I do know that they come with a lot of problems, but those can also be mitigated with a lot of attention and making sure you stay on the builder, doing all of your inspections. So we are prepared for that. But we did find a new construction in a new neighborhood just across the county line that we really loved. And it was with the builder D.R. Horton. And I know D.R. Horton has a terrible reputation. I understand that. We are kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place here, because unless we have $800,000 plus to spend on a different type of house, basically here in Wilmington, North Carolina, you're pretty much stuck with these mass builders and these quick build houses. So we did find a floor plan that we really loved from D.R. Horton. We went around and looked at a lot of the D.R. Horton neighborhoods here to see what their framing looked like. We went to other more expensive neighborhoods and compared their framing to the D.R. Horton framing. And I will be honest with you, it was about the same. I read a really interesting post on Reddit that was talking about how construction is basically as good as your local subcontractors, because they're hiring the same subcontractors to build every house in your community. There are a few reasons why we really love this floor plan over any other house that we have looked at over the years. So first, I really like that when you walk in, you don't hit the stairs. In our current house, you walk in and there's a set of stairs right in front of you. It's not terrible, it's just not my favorite. The downstairs has a flex room that you could use for a dining room that I really envision using for more of an additional living space, where we can put things like my daughter's gymnastics bar and her balance beam, which are stuck in our living room right now and totally in my way, but she loves them, so I'll put them wherever. It has a bedroom and a full bathroom downstairs, which is something that is a non-negotiable for us, but it also had a killer kitchen. It had a large kitchen island. It had a really nice main kitchen, but it also had a small butler's pantry where you can put things like your slow cooker, your Instant Pot, a grain mill, things that maybe you aren't using every day, but that you don't want to put away and then take out every single time you use them, because maybe you use them throughout the week. That's how I am with all of my things, like my grain mill, my KitchenAid, my slow cooker. I use them, I'd say 3 to 4 times a week, but I don't always just want them sitting out on the counter. And then it also has the connected dining room and living room right there off the kitchen. And so like I was saying before, I want some sort of hybrid between the open floor plan, but with some other closed off spaces. And this particular floor plan met those needs. The upstairs of this floor plan was also really great. So when you came upstairs, it had this really big loft area, which you could use for a playroom, or if anyone ever wants to hang out upstairs, again, you could put the gymnastic stuff up there, those sorts of things. You could have a sofa bed. So if you have company, you have an extra guest room. It also had a really great primary bedroom. What I liked about the primary bedroom is that it wasn't oversized. I don't need a big bedroom. I only need a bedroom to sleep. So I'm not pressed on having some like huge bedroom. But what I liked about it is it did have an attached, quote, sitting room. And that is something I would love to have for like a little upstairs office for myself, some sort of reading nook, because I really love to read, somewhere upstairs to just have a little space for some quiet time. I also really liked that the closet was not attached to the bathroom. Right now, you have to walk through our primary bathroom to get into the closet, which is fine unless someone's in the bathroom. So that kind of turns into a bit of a headache for us right now. And I like that that was not attached. And I really love that you could walk through the primary bedroom into the closet, and then there was another door that could take you into the laundry room upstairs, which I really liked. Honestly, I have a little bit of mixed feelings about upstairs laundry. When we moved into this house, I loved that there was upstairs laundry, because that meant I didn't have to lug the laundry up and down the stairs. But now that we've been here and the laundry's upstairs and nobody ever wants to be upstairs, I really wish our laundry was downstairs so I could just sort of roll through it throughout the day a little more easily without having to go up and down the stairs and deal with it that way. Then there are 2 other bedrooms upstairs. One would have been my daughter's bedroom, and then the other would have been my husband's home office, because he does work from home a lot and he needs quiet for meetings and that sort of stuff. It would have been the perfect house for us. We were this close to being able to have that house. We were super excited and ready to move. D.R. Horton did tell us that they were bringing this floor plan back in their latest phase. So we were on the list to be able to pick a lot and start building that house as soon as they were available. But out of the blue, they kind of pulled the rug out from underneath of us and told us that they're not building that house. So we are back to the drawing board. I'm not gonna lie, we're pretty bummed. We feel pretty burned about the whole situation. They really led us on, putting us on this list to be able to get this house. And then what they did is they removed the floor plan that we want from the neighborhood plans and replaced it with a much more expensive model. They're allowed to do whatever they want, but it was definitely a bait and switch for us. The new model that they replaced it with, it's basically exactly the same as our house right now with bigger rooms, which doesn't help us at all because it's not the square footage we're struggling with, it's the layout. And that house has almost an identical layout, and it has a 3-car garage. Don't care about that. So we are moving on. Honestly, if this were the 2019 market, I would say, like, let's just get a house that meets our needs more than this one and then figure it out in a couple of years. But this is not 2019. Houses are way too expensive to be settling on anything, and we're better off just staying where we are in the meantime. So we are still in the market to move, but I think what we're going to do now is start making some changes in our current house to meet our needs, but then also that might make it a little bit more attractive when it comes time to sell or rent it, maybe if we ever find the house of our dreams. We really need to repaint this place. I hate painting, just so it's out there. So everybody knows I cannot stand painting a house. I'll do it if I have to, but we really need to repaint and just sort of touch things up, not even just to rent or sell this house when we find the right house, but after 6 years, these are just sort of the things that you need to do to a house to keep it up. Another thing I really want to do is extend our kitchen island. So if you watch a lot of my cooking videos, you've probably noticed that I moved a little kitchen cart up against our island to extend the length. Our current island seats 2, which is fine, but for the type of cooking and the things that I do, I really prefer a larger workspace. Right now, with the kitchen cart butted up against the island, that's about the right size for our kitchen. I think it would be weird if it were any bigger than that. So I think what we're going to look for is a matching piece of quartz countertops that match the rest of our kitchen counters, put it on top of the cabinetry for the island, and then the piece that would go hang over, put some pretty table legs there. So that way we have a little leg room. We can kind of use that as obviously workspace, but also a little more table space. If I had my way over by my sink, I would also cut the little ledge off and insert a farmhouse sink. I don't know if it's really worth all that effort if the end goal is to move, but I sure would like that. One thing that we haven't figured out how to resolve quite yet, and this is a total first world problem, is we want some sort of access to a pool. Our neighborhood doesn't have a pool. We don't have a pool in our backyard. We got a quote for a pool. It was like $80,000 for this small pool, which like blows my mind. Honestly, we were saying though, if we put in a pool, it's a lot cheaper than buying a house. So I don't know. You know, we live at the beach, which is like the world's biggest pool, but living at the beach in tourist season, you basically can't go to the beach. I can't fight the tourist crowds to even get a parking space at the beach half the time in the summer. So we really don't go to the beach too often. If we end up staying here for long term, we might think about putting in a pool. I'm not really sure yet. That's definitely something that is on my wish list. But in the meantime, I do have a blow up water park for my daughter that is very fun. So we'll be using that all summer. So that is where we're at. We're right where we started. We're right where we've always been for the last 6 years. We are not moving at the moment. We are going to try to move at some point. But in the meantime, we are going to start doing some projects around the house. I don't know how much will be DIY. I like DIY stuff. Like I like to watch DIY stuff. I don't really know how to do a lot of DIY stuff. I could definitely learn if someone taught me, but there are a lot of time constraints. My husband can do just about any DIY project. Really, the issue for him is just time because he does work a pretty demanding corporate job. So I don't know, we might hire some stuff out. We might do some stuff on our own, but I'll definitely be documenting this stuff along the way so you can start following along our home buying process and all the things we are doing around our suburban home to make it the home of our dreams while we look for the actual home of our dreams. So with that said, I'm about to go live my best life in the house that we are in right now. Thanks so much for stopping by today. I'm looking forward to keeping you in the loop with all these changes, and I will see you again next time.